My name is Mr. Taiwo. I want to emphasize the importance of the African Cultural Heritage Center. This is going to be a center that is going to encompass people of African descent, and it is important for us because it will be a home, and that home is where we are looking for that anybody who is of African descent can say he walk in and know about himself and walk out and be himself at the same time. That is one of the importance of the Africa Cultural Heritage. That is why I, as a person, wants to be part of it and wish it comes to reality.
Respecti lukumang arkimang mina brada abaisa asaria en udeja so tapon comparação com makandra pe betak fu abiwa african kulturu presi en sami no belop fu akondre disi metego trutru ageerslek de leka overheid de man die etira kondre no lop tewe mitanga te afrikaan e bonru e mitanga desrefi. Maar mi de voorstander en mi lobatori taki wa Afrikaan kulturu presi e kope ala blakamang ala Afrikaan en mi desrefi. Bika winaf waru tu winaf Afrika en tapam fasidisi ukan yep bouw akonder dis komoro fara maar ook tu bouw usret komoro tra. Dat meki mi wan a Afrikaan kulturu centrum kom. Want trasande taki temi wan miti temi wan koma kandanga de brananga safmi da ala lesi wa bif gona wa wetman presi da a wetman e bepaal a Europe so on ko na Europe so gwe ma o Afrikaan no abasan dati tewe mit nanga usrefi wan de nanga usrefi en wan ta moy langa dus wanu egi presi wa Afrikaan kulturu centrum dat natori.
Good evening. My name's Ayodeji Okele. I'm a Nigerian and I'm the coordinator of Odua Progressive Union, the Netherlands. The reason I think an African cultural heritage center would be important is that it would give Africans a space where they could tell or where we could tell our own story ourselves. I mean, like Africans do get the opportunity now to take part in like cultural events, but it's always as part of somebody else's agenda. With an African Cultural Heritage Center, we can put on our own events, we can tell our own story the way we want, with no boundaries at all.
Bonsoir chers Africains, bonsoir chers frères. En fait, je viens ici pour représenter les francophones. Je suis ici parce que nous voulons créer un centre culturel africain à Belmont ici. Ce centre, ce serait un lieu où tous les Africains, je pense ceux qui habitent déjà en Hollande ou ceux qui sont de la diaspora, pourront se regrouper pour parler des questions culturelles africaines. Donc c'est un centre culturel typiquement africain, mais bon, d'autres personnes aussi, d'autres pays peuvent aussi venir. C'est un centre où les gens vont se rencontrer pour partager des idées, pour s'entraider, pour s'informer de la situation du pays, des lois du pays, des choses qu'il faut faire, des choses qu'il ne faut pas faire. Et c'est un centre où les Africains pourront se rencontrer, comme je viens de le dire, et se changer des idées. Donc c'est un centre très important. Comme dans les autres cultures aussi, il y a des Chinois, des gens du Suriname qui ont aussi leur centre et autres. Donc les Africains aussi veulent avoir leur centre et ce serait très important. Donc nous vous invitons de venir massivement nous soutenir. Et puis voilà, la maison culturelle africaine, c'est une maison pour tout le monde. Donc vous êtes la bienvenue. Merci.
In my opinion, what the African Cultural Center will mean is that it's an opportunity for a lot of all Africans and all African groups to meet in one place, under one roof, in one building, and interact with each other. And that means not only for my stake team, which is Yoruba Youth of Netherlands from Nigeria, but we also have other groups from Nigeria that are also here in the Netherlands, here in Amsterdam. And apart from that, there are Ghanaians, there are Sierra Leoneans, there are other African countries that we never meet and we never see each other. Maybe on the street, maybe when there is somewhere, there's a party or there is something somewhere. But with an African cultural center, that gives us all the groups together to meet and interact with each other, talk with each other, and see where we can improve each other. Because with that opportunity, then we have that platform somewhere where we can always go to, exchange ideas, and also try to improve ourselves, our living, our community, and also be a part of the community here in Amsterdam, here in Netherlands as a whole. And if we can do that, if we have a place where we can improve ourselves, which that means we can also be a part, improving and contributing to the development of not only Africans but also the Netherlands, the Dutch people as a whole. So that is why I think it is very, very, very important, not only for my club, not only for our stake team, but for all Africans, and I would say also for the Dutch citizens as a whole. Thank you.
A way of defining the people of African descent. It is an opportunity to bring Africans together to express their views about where they come from and what they do, their activities, their cultural, their traditional activities, their customs, the history. That will bring them together to discuss about all these issues which are very important for people of African descent who are not very well united in the diaspora. So I think it is a very cardinal point. It's a priority that Africans come together to acknowledge their traditions, acknowledge their knowledge, acknowledge their history, acknowledge their past, and especially acknowledge where they come from so that they can continue from there. Because without knowing where you come from, you can never be sure of which way to go. You will be dispersed in the way forward. So it is important that there's a cultural center for Africans of African descent.
Thank you. I am Apostle Brown, DGCO. I am the senior pastor of Grace Valley Chapel here in Amsterdam, Southeast. The question is, what would an African Heritage Center mean to you as an African or to me as an African? Number one, it's going to bring unity. Every individual who is from an African descent, it is a place that we are going to meet to get to know each other, to encourage each other. You know, it doesn't matter if you are from Suriname, you are from Papua New Guinea, you are from Sub-Saharan Africa, or even Africa as a whole. But it's a mutual communication center where we're going to meet and then get to know each other and get to know our roots as African.
The culture center would mean to me a source of education. By that I mean learning about other African cultures. We tend to be a bit inclusive within our own communities, and having an African center would make me more aware and more open toward other cultures.
My name is Julius, and my last name is Wampa. I'm the chairman of the Nigerian in Diaspora Association, NIDO, in the Netherlands. For your question, what a cultural center means to me here, the fact of the matter is, we Africans in the Netherlands have not a voice that is really being heard by the government. And then we need a voice. Not only having a voice, we need a place where we can gather together and to celebrate our culture or to have events that are relating to Africa. And for that reason, the essence of having a cultural center is very, very important for Africans living in the Netherlands, or even Africans living in the South Coast in particular, or Amsterdam in general. So we need a place where we can all gather, we can always gather together as a cultural place or as a center where we can discuss with each other, air our view, and be able to come up with even suggestions that we can give to the government of the Netherlands. So that's an important factor. That's what the cultural center means to me, an African cultural center. And I think that the government will be able to listen to us and then provide us with such a center in Amsterdam. Thank you.
My name is Alice Bono, and people know me as Asabia. And I'm talking on behalf of my Feku of Holland. And what we need is a place to have our meetings, events, and the parties. We need a place so that our children can be playing at the places. So what we need is important for us to get a place so that we can make our parties, meetings, and events, and many things. Thank you very much.